On the morning of July 27, 1909, the ocean off the coast of South Africa looked ordinary. The waves rolled as they always had, indifferent and endless. Yet somewhere beneath that restless surface, a modern passenger ship and 211 souls had already disappeared. No explosion was heard. No clear distress call was received. No wreckage marked the place where it happened. The SS Waratah had vanished, and with her, one of the most unsettling mysteries in maritime history was born. The Waratah was not a forgotten or outdated vessel. She was new, modern, and designed with confidence. Built in 1908 at the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, the same place that would later produce the Titanic, the Waratah was intended to represent reliability and progress. She was commissioned for service between Britain, South Africa, and Australia, a vital route connecting the far edges of the British Empire. At 450 feet long and nearly 10,000 tons, the Waratah was a substantial ship. She carried passengers in comfort and cargo in abundance. Her designers believed she was well suited for the rough southern seas. Steam turbines powered her engines, allowing her to cruise at speeds up to 17 knots. Inside, passengers enjoyed electric lighting, polished wood interiors, spacious dining areas, and private cabins. She was not flashy like later ocean liners, but she was respectable, modern, and trusted. For many aboard, this voyage was a routine journey. For others, it marked a new chapter in life. Businessmen traveled to manage overseas investments. Families relocated across continents. Newlyweds imagined futures waiting on distant shores. Crew members treated the journey as just another assignment, one they had completed many times before. No one boarding the Waratah that winter imagined they were stepping onto a ship that would never reach its destination. The Waratah departed Durban, South Africa on July 26, 1909, heading toward Cape Town. From there, she was scheduled to continue toward Australia. The weather was typical for the season. Winter seas near the Cape of Good Hope were known for their unpredictability, but no major storms had been forecast. The captain and officers were experienced men. They had navigated these waters before and trusted both their judgment and their ship. As the Waratah steamed southward, radio operators sent routine wireless messages. Conditions were reported as moderate. The ship maintained steady speed. Nothing suggested danger. Then, without warning, the messages stopped. When the Waratah failed to arrive in Cape Town as scheduled, concerns spread quickly. Shipping companies were accustomed to delays, but something felt wrong. Nearby vessels were asked to remain alert. Some reported faint wireless interference during the night, fragments of signals that sounded like static or incomplete distress calls. None could confirm what they heard. By daylight, there was still no sign of the Waratah. Search efforts began almost immediately. Ships retraced the Waratah's expected route. Coastal patrols scanned the shoreline. The sea was searched for debris, oil slicks, lifeboats, or any trace of wreckage. Days passed, then weeks. Nothing was found. The ocean offered no clues. This absence of evidence became the defining feature of the case. Ships sink all the time, but they usually leave something behind. Even catastrophic losses tend to scatter debris. The Waratah left nothing. No wreckage washed ashore. No lifeboats were recovered, no bodies were found. It was as though the ship had slipped beneath the waves intact, taking all answers with her. As the weeks turned into months, theories began to emerge. One of the earliest concerns surrounding the Waratah involved her stability. During previous voyages, a few passengers had complained that the ship rolled excessively in rough seas. While official inspections found nothing legally wrong, some engineers later questioned whether the ship's design made her top-heavy when fully loaded. If cargo shifted in heavy seas, it could have caused a dangerous list. A sudden roll beyond a critical angle could have capsized the ship in minutes, leaving no time for distress signals or evacuation. Another theory focused on weather. Although no major storms were recorded, the waters off the Cape are notorious for sudden localized conditions. Rogue waves, once considered sailor superstition, are now scientifically proven. A single massive wave appearing without warning could have struck the Waratah broadside. If the wave breached the hull or overwhelmed the decks, the ship may have flooded rapidly. In darkness, such an event would have gone unseen. Mechanical failure was also considered. Early steam turbines, while advanced for their time, were not immune to sudden breakdowns. A loss of power in heavy seas could have left the Waratah unable to maneuver. Without propulsion, waves could repeatedly strike the same side of the ship, increasing stress on the hull. Water entering through damaged compartments might have overwhelmed the pumps before anyone could respond. Some speculated about human factors. Captains in that era often faced pressure to maintain schedules. Slowing down meant financial loss and reputational damage. If the Waratah encountered worsening seas, the decision to maintain speed might have pushed the ship beyond safe limits. Even experienced judgment can be overtaken by nature. Others propose more unusual explanations. Some claim the ship struck an uncharted reef or submerged object. Others whispered of internal explosions caused by coal dust or shifting cargo. A few even suggested sabotage or piracy, though no evidence supported such claims. To resolve the mystery, a formal inquiry was held in Britain. Engineers, naval architects, meteorologists, and wireless experts reviewed all available information. They examined the ship's design, maintenance records, weather data, and radio logs. In the end, the inquiry reached a frustrating conclusion. There was no proof pointing to a single cause. Without wreckage or survivors, the Waratah's fate could not be determined. For families of those lost, the lack of answers was devastating. There were no funerals with bodies, no confirmed moment of death, just absence. Letters stopped arriving. Promises remained unfulfilled. Many clung to hope far longer than reason allowed, believing that survivors might have reached some remote shore. Eventually, hope faded into grief. Over time, the Waratah faded from headlines. Other disasters captured public attention. Yet among maritime historians and mystery researchers, the case never truly disappeared. The Waratah became known as the Titanic of the Southern Seas, not because of scale, but because of the haunting questions left behind. In the decades that followed, technology advanced. Sonar mapping, underwater robotics, and deep-sea exploration renewed hope that the wreck might one day be found. Several expeditions searched areas where the ship was believed to have gone down. Harsh currents, deep waters, and shifting seabeds made exploration difficult. Each search ended the same way, without definitive results. The waters off South Africa are among the most challenging in the world. Strong currents can move wreckage miles from its original resting place. Sand and sediment can bury ships completely over time. If the Waratah broke apart or sank rapidly, her remains may now lie scattered and concealed beneath layers of ocean floor. Yet even without physical evidence, the Waratah's legacy remains powerful. Her disappearance contributed to changes in maritime safety. Stability standards were reviewed. Cargo loading procedures became stricter. Communication systems improved. Over time, ships were required to carry better safety equipment and more reliable wireless systems. In this way, the Waratah's loss helped prevent future tragedies. What makes the Waratah especially haunting is how ordinary her final voyage seemed. There was no dramatic farewell, no sense of impending doom. Just a ship doing its job, carrying people who trusted the technology of their time. That ordinariness makes the mystery more unsettling. It reminds us that disaster does not always announce itself. Even today, the Waratah's story resonates because it reflects humanity's relationship with the sea. For all our engineering and confidence, the ocean remains vast and unpredictable. It can erase even the most carefully built machines without leaving a trace. Some mysteries are solved through evidence and discovery. Others endure because the answers were taken with those who experienced them. The Waratah belongs to the second kind. Her story exists in fragments, in radio logs, in inquiry reports, and family memories passed down through generations. Somewhere beneath the waves, the final chapter of the Waratah's journey remains written but unread. Until it is found, the ship remains more than a wreck. She is a reminder of uncertainty, of human ambition, and of the thin line between routine travel and irreversible loss. The SS Waratah sailed into history and never returned. The ocean kept her secret. And more than a century later, we are still listening, hoping one day the sea will finally give an answer.